I needed to just remind you that we have concerns about it, but we are here with this landscape plan. We'll give it our best shot, but we share a lot of the concerns that have been raised. The other thing is that the Arts and Crafts Show has been down on Cabrillo for over 40 years. And for the most of that area has not been landscaped. We do have, and you've heard a lot of references to it, the sites which are assigned to various artists. I would just caution you that we may have a person who's in a handicap spot today, and whether that remains a handicap spot, you know, I'd have to defer to my staff person to make sure that we're operating under the correct assumption that as long as the Arts and Crafts Show is there, there will always be a handicap spot. So I just wanted to remind you of that. Just also a reminder, these are not identified spaces. This is just open parking. So I just, it sounded like you were going to kind of get into that and look at it a little bit more. So what the art show folks have presented is how it's used, but just from a perspective of what actually exists, I just wanted to make those comments. So we thank you very much for being patient and working through this whole process. It has been a long process. We want to get it done, but I just wanted to make those few comments. Thank you.
Can I make a point of clarification?
No, I think we want to move this.
Okay, it's just those two people are not in handicapped spots.
No.
Okay, they're just handicapped people.
Yeah. More questions?
I actually have just a couple questions for the team. Okay, you're using a lot of diamondia, which I like to call it. What happens when you step on diamondia? How does diamondia fare when you step on it? Anyone? I've seen it on parkways. And
it can be stepped on occasionally. We have no way of knowing how much traffic, ultimately it's going to take to wipe it out. We've got it planted on State Street where it's done okay, but State Street conditions are different than comparable.
Okay. And then the other question I have is, let's see, when this first gets done and the plants are put in, is there going to be a small barrier while they get established, kind of like State Street? There are some barriers around planters. As we talk about that.
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Adams, we're still working out the details of the construction and the staging and how we can minimize the impacts to the Arts and Crafts Show, but I would expect that as the State Street, we would have some type of barrier to protect the plantings while they're establishing.
Okay. Then real quick, is there any budget right now for replacing dead plants with labor and the plant materials? Any sort of budget outline that way?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Adams, the redevelopment agency is paying for the capital project, but state law prevents us from using our funds for maintenance. We've discussed annual maintenance issues with the parks superintendent, and it's an increase in cost to the parks department. And I honestly don't know where they would get the extra funds for that.
So I would, just in answer to your question, say we've received no additional funds for replacement plants. We will try to replace and maintain, combining with all of our other park maintenance needs. And it is a challenge currently.
And then one other question, the trash can locations, were those, why were those just located where they were, just for practical, pick up the trash and go from the city, pretty much? The trash can receptacle locations.
I believe we were trying to place them at regular intervals, similar to the intervals that are already out there now, but based upon changes to the landscape, depending on the orientation or reconfiguration, I should say. It's just it's the same number of cans. I should say. Where there was a double before, there's now a single.
I just have a couple of questions. What's the width of this? Is 4 feet? Well, they have 18-inch. This is 18-inch walk, right?
Mr. Chair, the curb is 6 inches. Behind that is 18 inches before you get to the the landscape, and then I believe there was another,
Landscape
about
is
4 feet.
I think this is 3 feet.
3 feet.
That is only 3 feet.
The grid is an 18-inch grid.
3 and then, so, what is this, so this would be 4.5 or so. Right? Yeah. Okay, very good. Anything else? Okay, I just have one question. Have you thought of putting any kind of like flagstone piece somewhere in the middle of the step in case they want to use, like somewhere in there? It has been discussed and, yeah.
Mr. Chair, during the design and the consultation of our historic consultants who prepared the historic structures report at your request, we looked at sandstone, and in this stretch for the design and how it was envisioned, sandstone wasn't going to be an appropriate material for crossing this concrete. It was kind of going to conflict.
Well, the stepping stone was not used because of the material. Is that interesting?
I'm sorry, you mean like through the landscaping?
No, I mean
Or
like
just
sometimes in
between?
residential parkways it's common to see very heavy landscaping, and somewhere there is a little space along with this, so you step there instead of stepping on the plant and you get across.
Right. There was some discussion of that, and as I recall, and I don't know if it was discussed in detail in the historic structures report, but I do recall that there was, Santa Barbara sandstone, let's put that in, that would be great. No, that wasn't supported by our historical consultants for this location.
Right.
May I ask, as an addendum to that, would any material that be supported? Or is it just the sandstone is not supported? Any other material?
I think it depended upon the application. I mean, we had come to the Historic Landmarks Commission before, at one time proposing colored concrete, proposing colored tiles, and we did not find support from this body for that. And then when we went through the historic structures report preparation process, we learned a lot more about this state level historic district and what it was going to take to preserve it, and something as amorphous as those shapes really was going to be acceptable. This is a very rectilinear design, and that was to be maintained.
Mr. Chair, yeah, as I recall, that concrete was found to be historic, that concrete out there, and that's why, we wanted to stay compatible with the concrete as far as material was concerned. I just remember that from...
Stepping stone?
No, I mean the sidewalk.
Right.
And all
Well-
so I just remember that from the historic.
That point was made strongly by Commissioner Locomoy and Leopard. So can you describe the finish of this redone concrete, if you will, the way it is now, you're proposing?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Adams, it is a replacement in kind to preserve the design. It's the same scoring pattern. We're planning the same color, same texture. In fact, in one portion, we're actually trying to preserve. There's so many cracks and asphalt patching out there, but we're trying to preserve one small segment that's good that has the original contractor stamp.
Oh.
1928.
Questions, comments on that? Questions first. Any other questions?
Well, my only question is, I don't understand why if the zone is red, it's being used as a loading zone. The microphone is wrong. It's not. If the zone is painted red, that means no parking, right? So why is it being used as a loading zone?
Can we answer?
Rhetorical question.
Okay, all right. Any other questions?
Can we answer accurately?
No.
Or-
Any comments from staff? No?
No, just that we're spending a lot of time on issues which this commission's already made decisions on, like the scoring pattern, the concrete. You went in great detail doing that, so I think hopefully move beyond that.
Yeah. Okay, comments, please.
Well, my compliments to the landscape architect. I think they successfully grouped and mapped the plant materials. I just worry about the long-term feeling of it, but or the long-term viability of it, as was stated. Yeah, I think the plant choices are great. I think we've seen these plant choices before.
Pretty redundant.
And I don't think that since we last saw this, any planting area has been increased in size. However, the one comment I would make, in the 18-foot strip section that was indicated, maybe there could be an added access or two added access